早上好, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Morning English. I'm joined by the wonderful Mumu.
大家好，我就是你们的 wonderful Mumu.
So today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects, which is food.
对，今天我们要聊一下 Jack 最喜欢的话题，就是吃。That's right, and more specifically, English food. So Jack's got some in-depth knowledge about this topic.
Yeah, that's right. Personally, I love English food, but it seems every Chinese person who has tried our food doesn't like it at all. When I ask Chinese people if they have been to England, they say yes. It's always the same answer. I really enjoyed England, but the food wasn't very nice. So, Mumu, have you ever tried any English food?
No.
None at all?
Yeah, but when I search some English food on the internet, there are lots of pictures of fish and chips.
Yes, yeah, fish and chips is our most well-known dish around the world, I think. And it's one of the foods that I wanted to talk about. So it's an English classic, and it's usually the first food to be associated with England, just like KFC with America or pasta with Italy.
对，就是 Jack 说他如果说到英国的食物呢，马上就会想到这个 fish and chips 是比较经典的一个吃的。那如果你说到美国的话，肯定会想的就是肯德基。那说到意大利呢，你会想到就是意大利面。
So there are an estimated 20,000 fish and chip shops in England. So that tells you how popular they are. They're often eaten on a Friday or Saturday as a treat for the whole family. Is there any similar sort of dish in China that you know of, Mumu?
Maybe Kung Pao chicken.
Oh,
I often
yes.
hear that dish on some TV plays.
Yes, yeah, I'm familiar with Kung Pao chicken, yeah.
Do you like it?
I do like it very much, very much.
Hello, welcome to Morning English. 早安英文呢是一个为大家免费提供英语教学的频道，每天都会更新。如果你想获得关于英语听说读写的内容，我们都会在这个频道更新。我们的目标是帮助全球的华人学好英语。如果你觉得还不错的话，记得给我们订阅哦。另外，点开小铃铛，这样的话就不会错过其他任何学习视频啦。对了，如果你想获取本节课的完整版笔记，在视频简介或者评论区领取哦。你也可以给这个视频点赞，点赞就相当于自动保存啦。
但是呢，说到这个话题，我满脑子想的都是小龙虾。Actually, all I think of is crayfish.
Crayfish?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I've not tried Chinese crayfish. I don't
You
think
never
it.
tried that before in Changsha?
Oh, is it the red ones?
It's very famous.
Yes, actually, I've told you a lie.
You should try it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I have tried it. And I do think it's delicious. Yeah, a little bit spicy. But,
Very spicy.
yeah, but I like it.
You like spicy food?
A little bit of spice is good, but not too much. So, what makes the fish so special when it's cooked in England is that it's battered, which is when a food is coated in flour and beer and then deep fried. So this makes it delicious, but somewhat unhealthy.
Covered in beer?
Yes, only a little bit, not too much. But it reminds me of a Chinese dish that is also cooked in beer. It looks like people had the same idea but prepared the dish in different ways.
I never had that dish before.
No, I saw it when I was in Fenghuang, this dish. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to having that again. But an interesting fact about fish and chips is that they used to be served wrapped up in that day's newspaper.
Really? 就是之前的这个 fish and chips 就是包在报纸里面的。I guess that way at least you could have something to read while you eat.
Yeah, that's very true. They had to stop doing it, unfortunately, though, because the ink would sometimes leak into the food, and obviously that's not tasty.
Yuck. Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
What a way to ruin a meal.
Exactly. But nowadays, they use proper paper to wrap them in. But talking about like these fish and chips is making me hungry, and I know I'm gonna have to wait such a long time to eat them again. But last time that I got home from China, my dad picked me up at the airport at about 7 o'clock, and the fish and chip shops close about 9 o'clock, and it was a 2-hour drive back home. So we drove back home really, really fast, and yeah, I was so glad we got there in time.
Oh my god, no way. You must really love them. Were they as good as you were expecting?
Oh, completely. Plus, the shop owner heard that I had come back from China, so he gave me loads of extra food as a welcome home gift.
That was kind of him.
It really was, it really was. So, what food would you miss the most if you were away from China for a long time?
I think I'd miss the dishes cooked by my mom.
Oh yeah, everybody misses their dishes cooked by their mum. I miss my mum's food. Oh, one thing I should mention about fish and chips is that they are really, really chunky. So the chips are really chunky.
Chunky, what do you mean?
Well, I'm sure that everybody has tried French fries before. Well, that's the American style of cooking chips. But in England, we cut the potato into much bigger pieces, and we cook them in better oil too.
那一般我们吃的薯条就是属于这种美式做法 but I do like French fries.
Oh yeah, of course I do as well. I like all chips.
比较细，但是呢，英国的薯条通常都是很大块的，所以用 chunky 这个词来表示很大块、很厚的。Do you still add salt onto the chips?
Yes, we also use vinegar. So salt and vinegar are a bit like English versions of spices, I suppose. But Chinese people find English food a little plain, and we can't handle our spices very well. I know my Australian friend, when he had some spicy food in Changsha for the first time, he was literally crying just at the table.
He cried?
Yeah, he cried, yeah. He wasn't upset, it was just he couldn't stop himself.
Maybe he thinks it's too delicious.
I don't think so, if you'd seen his face.
就是大家他们吃辣的甚至会哭啊，太辣了。像我这样的重口味肯定是不会选英国菜的。So, is that why you always reach for the water when you eat Chinese food?
Yeah, it is. I absolutely love Chinese food, but sometimes I have to drink like 1 or 2 glasses of cold water with my meals here. Chinese people love their spices, as you know, and especially here in Changsha.
Yeah, you're right. 对，我们就是辣妹子，辣不怕啊。好，我不在这里一个人尬聊了。I do enjoy spicy food. I think it gives much more variety and flavor to the dish. Are there any spicy dishes at all in England, or they are all plain?
No, it's true that there are a lot of what you would think to be plain dishes, but there are some spicy dishes. I don't know if you know this about England, but we have a very large Indian population. So this has produced several unique dishes which are a combination of English and Indian food. So it has a little bit of spice in it, or a lot.
所以他们还是有辣的，主要是因为英国呢有很大数量的印度人，那就会产生一种印度口味和英国口味的集合体的口味，可能就会稍微辣一些。
So Indian food is extremely popular in England, and lots of English people like to pride themselves on being able to eat the spiciest curry on the menu without passing out.
So foreign food is part of English food culture?
Oh yes, very, very much so. English food is maybe only eaten 1 day of the week, and in England food from all over the world is eaten. So we love Italian food, Indian food, Spanish food, and of course Chinese food. But the best Chinese food in the UK can be found in Manchester. When I turned 18, I went to visit my brother who lives there, and he took me to the best Chinese restaurants before we went out to have a drink.
I'll bet you had a fine night.
Yeah, from what I can remember.
You must have been full of Chinese food and beer.
Yeah, you've summed it up pretty well.
So Chinese restaurants are common in England. Is there much of a difference in Chinese food here in China and Chinese food in England?
Yes, yeah, Chinese food is very, very popular in England. There's always a Chinese restaurant in every town, or maybe 5 or 6. But Chinese food back home is cooked with a English customer in mind. So this means it's much less spicy, and it can involve large portions of meat. Some of it's even deep fried as well.
What?
Yeah, I know.
不辣，肉又特别多，然后还用那种特别厚的油来炸。That doesn't sound very much like Chinese food at all.
No, it's very, very different. But if you go to Chinatown in London or to the Chinese restaurants in Manchester, the food is much more how you would expect it to be in China. Personally, I think the Chinese food in China is better. I think that's why Chinese students studying in England miss it so much or cook it at home themselves.
Yes, I can understand why they do. Maybe I should go over and open a real Chinese restaurant for all the students studying there.
I think you'd be very successful.
Hello, welcome to Morning English. 早安英文呢是一个为大家免费提供英语教学的频道，每天都会更新。如果你想获得关于英语听说读写的内容，我们都会在这个频道更新。我们的目标是帮助全球的华人学好英语。如果你觉得还不错的话，记得给我们订阅哦。另外，点开小铃铛，这样的话就不会错过其他任何学习视频啦。对了，如果你想获取本节课的完整版笔记，在视频简介或者评论区领取哦。你也可以给这个视频点赞，点赞就相当于自动保存啦。
Well, that's all that we have time for today, but thank you very much for joining us again, and we look forward to seeing you next time. My name's Jack.
我是木木啊，今天是第一次和 Jack 录节目，所以一个1.9米的小伙坐在我旁边还是有点小小的紧张的。那我们这期节目就到这里了，我们下期见。下期见。
下期见。
Yeah, 拜拜。
拜拜，再见。
再见。